Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I'm JT O'Sullivan. Today, Josh Allen in Foxborough. Big game. Got a shot to win it at the end. Some absolutely special throws. Some head scratchers. Some things I think he's probably working on this offseason. Lots of good stuff. Let's dive into it. Welcome to the QB School. All right, you dig this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, get the notifications, let you know when we go live, when we put out new content. I appreciate the support. In addition, get over to the Patreon community if you want the long form content of this, just like being in an NFL quarterback room. And then if you want anything to do with RPOs, check out the RPO course. It is in the video description. So let's get into this one. You asked for it. You got it. Josh Allen. Whole tones. I appreciate the video, JT. Love the content. Would love to see some Josh Allen analysis if you ever get around to the Bills. Boom, here you go. Josh Allen, 3rd and 7, early in the first quarter. I tell you what, this is a theme for this one. This was a wild one on a number of different levels. We got a little corner here to the left out of a nub. They're in this formation quite a bit. Little nub, 1x3, middle field closed, man. Ugh. And I mean, watching it early in the game, I was like, maybe it just flew on him a little bit. Sky mail. He makes some straight up unbelievable throws. He's trying to get this the whole way. You can see it from the back end, the look off, although I'm not sure you really need to look off a middle field player in this situation. But this thing just comes off flat, and he misses 2 more of these type of throws and throws an absolute dime on one of these throws. So watch his head here. Manipulation of 21, middle field player, and maybe has to move just a little bit off of his spot there. Again, people know what's coming here. There's not a whole lot of anticipation on this throw, but he's getting jammed. You can't really get any type of anticipation against this type of tight man coverage. That's why they play it in New England. Kind of distorts all the timing of a passing game. But again, he moves a little to his left. You'd love to see him make this throw, or at least give your guy a shot. To me, that's the biggest thing on these throws down the field. That I would love to see him just give him a shot, a little bit more touch. If anything, that thing comes off flat a handful of times. But there are some unbelievable throws in this game. And this is one of them. Moving to your left, we're going to flood the zone up top, really just kind of a clear out up top and a corner route. And it's a tight window, and it's a beautiful throw. It just is. There's no way around it. Talking about the route here, up top, the slot receiver, to me, I'd like to see him go inside. When he goes outside like that, he really condenses the window. Josh is booting to the left, and he's got to throw basically a corner or an out to a guy who's standing on the numbers. Down the field, moving to your left. I mean, look, he throws it right over that flat defender. I mean, right on the bridge. My goodness, this is a dime. This was the first throw where I was like, okay, here we go. I haven't watched enough of Josh Allen or the Bills to have a strong opinion, but this is a dime, and there's touch on that. That's the type of throw, just that little bit of touch. Up and over a near defender. I'm going to make myself sick there. Up and over a near defender, but then over the flat defender too, on the sideline. Let's see if we can find Bill. Is he over there somewhere? It's always fun to play the sideline game. I don't see him. Either way, dime. And there are a bunch of throws like that. But there are also a bunch of throws where you're just like, wait, what? Like wide misses. And that's the thing that I don't really quite get, and hard for me to put my hand on it, other than the fact that, I've never been a guy who can rip it like this. But his footwork is really nice. I love the footwork at the top of the drop. Look at the footwork. No heel click. All his cleats in the ground. It looked like he'd be a perfect throw, except he's not lined up to throw this little mesh. This is just a mesh. We're getting basically the point up top and the number 3 getting picks coming across. I mean, it's a beautiful call. 3rd and 7. There's some interesting calls in this game, but this is a great call. And he just misses this thing. And by a lot. And it's his footwork isn't quite lined up for whatever reason. Can't tell if he's having a hard time seeing what's going on. But you would think that you would be able to make this throw. So 81 and the point of the bunch. 18 are going across. They're going to get rubs. Here comes 10 coming underneath. You can see it start to sort itself out. I mean, and that's wide open by NFL standards. But watch his feet. For whatever reason, they're lined up here to make that throw, but then he jumps back. And so I can't tell if he's confused, if he thinks something's going to pop. Either way, Not a great miss. Just a bummer on that type of down and distance too. But again, it's one of those things where you see flashes where you're just like, wow. And then you see throws like that where you're just kind of like, well, is he confused? Is it? I don't think it's a footwork thing. It looked like his feet weren't tethered to the reed more than anything else. Then this to me, this is a little bit, for as good as I thought that last call was, this to me is a tough call. You know, you're going to get basically what I'm going to call a speed out up top to the top of the field versus not a press corner, but a tight corner. And it's just not easy to run this type of route versus this type of coverage. Normally this would convert, I would say, but maybe it's locked with what's going on with the pass concept. But I would love to see this ball get out a little bit earlier. You know, there's an element, footwork excellent at the back. Look at the base, but let it rip right there, as opposed to just maybe just a half reset late. He goes to throw that thing. I mean, he's got a cannon, but the guy's out of his break on an out route where outside the numbers. I mean, it's going to be late for even the strongest arm in the league, and he's able to adjust back. So the anticipation there, but for me, that's a combination of anticipation and scheme. You know, I don't love running speed outs ever, and I really don't love running speed outs versus any type of tight man coverage. It's just difficult with the timing of it, the ability to potentially get bumped. But you can see, just watch the footwork. There's just a pause at the top for whatever reason. 1, 2, 3. That little makes it just a half tick late. And so that comes up a handful of times. Some wide misses, a little tardy. But man, there are some ridiculous throws. And this is the exact same corner that I complained about earlier. This is in the bucket, y'all. I mean, this thing is a thing of beauty. Hand it to him. You got to get in the end zone. But my goodness, watch this thing. Watch his base at the back of the drop. You know, he's looking to the right, just looking off the entire time. No heel click. No anywhere near heel click. Shuffle back, be lined up, and drop that thing in from a helicopter. That's the touch you want to see all the time. Not necessarily 1 for 4 and just being a decent day at the plate. Watch this throw to the tight end, little nub to the left. They're in this thing all day, this type of formation. Look off. He knows exactly what he's doing. Watch the eye manipulation. Middle field player. There it is. See when he lets this thing go. Any anticipation here? You know, he's still into it. You know, you don't necessarily have to have it on every single throw, but I do think it's interesting to see what the film says. But that is a beautiful throw and a dime. Look at the Colonials back there shaking their head. Ooh, that's nice. And there are a bunch of throws like that. Like, shockingly, I didn't anticipate. Put this on there just because this is a great play. This is a bunch. This is a 0x4 bunch with a big personnel, extra linemen in. We got what normally would be an ineligible down here, but in the league you can report as eligible. This left tackle, 73. Little old school T-counter boot, Y banana here to the right. Spider 2 Y banana, throwback to the big guy. And people sleep on what kind of athletes they're got playing offensive line in the NFL. This dude catches this corner with his hands at his knees. 300-pounder. That thing is nice. Beautiful play call. Again, you can see the scheme here. Extra offensive line in. 3 tight ends to the right, a bunch. Boot out, corner, flat, throwback. Look at this catch, though. I mean, catch it with your hands, big fella. Whoa! Love it. Look at the guys celebrate, man. I love it. It's a special game with stuff like that. That's fun. All good. So, come back here, and this is just one of my favorites. A little RPO. We're going to run a slant to the number 3 up top. Man coverage. You'd think RPOs wouldn't be great. Well, if you can win inside, there it is. Boop. Love the arm angle on this from Josh Allen. We'll see from the back end. Just watch the ball action. Little outside G, however they're blocking it with a little fold down the edge. But there it is. Love it. Quick strike down the field. Watch this action. Depending on who they're reading, I'm going to guess it's 53 or 58. Although he's kind of looking at Hightower. 54. But watch his arm angle here. That's the best part. The hesitation. Again, 71's in his lane. Look at the lane. Look at drop the arm angle. Whew. That's beautiful. That's probably my favorite throw of the day. And there were a number of ridiculous throws. Actually, that wasn't my favorite. There's a better throw later. This throw right here. This throw is ridiculous. Post down the field. He lets it go a little early here, a little anticipation. Oh my God. I'm telling you, we're going to watch this a handful of times. This is special throw. So boot out to his right, shuffle back to the left, and let it go to a post. Now, he lets it go to the post early, in my opinion. I'll pause it right when he's about to throw it. Launch point, free runner. That's always fun. Thanks, tight end. I mean, you got to have some sort of call to get this thing out there. Free runner, shuffle back, and the tight ends guy got him. I mean, this is scary throw, y'all. This should put the league on notice. I'm going to pause it right when he goes to let it go. Pause it back. He separates right here. That post route, we can see it coming from the middle of the field here. Really, I mean, he's not into that route yet. He's not by that player. So he's got to run by this cat right here. Got no chance. Just a really nice job being able to kind of see what's going on. But again, there's two guys in his face. He's shuffling away. Guy gets his hand almost on his chest, and he lets this thing go early. This is the type of throw. If you can make anticipation throws like this, you can make normal anticipation throws. Beautiful vision, even better throw, athletic ability, dance. Love it all. But I mean, this thing isn't executed perfectly by any means. 53 is free. 93 hits him. Tight end's 0 for 2 out there on the edge. Right tackle's not blocking anybody. I mean, this is all on Ellen. Just a beautiful throw by Josh. Look at him shuffle away here. I mean, my goodness. One more time. All the way from the beginning. Play fake, boot around, shuffle back, and let that thing go. On the money. Whew. So we're into the fourth quarter. Getting lined up here. A little 2x2. A little out down here to the bottom of the screen. You know, he's just got a ridiculous arm. I mean, it really is. The rules a little bit go out the window. But to me, you know, besides the fact that this slot down here to the bottom, this DB to me should not lose outside. That's just me. Without being in the defensive room, I'm going to guess that the divider and what coverage they've got, where his help is in the middle of the field, he should not lose outside. But he does lose outside. When he goes to let this ball go, again, to me, it's just a half tick late. I like his feet. I think he could be a little bit more lined up. And what I mean by that is he hits the back of his drop right there. But watch that front foot. He's got to still get it over there and open up a little bit, as opposed to being, I mean, it's super nitpicky, but I think it just allows him to be just a half tick late for whatever reason. And he's got such an arm that he gets away with it. He really does. I mean, this is anticipation on these outs. He's not quite out of it. The ball isn't, you know, like you'll see some guys where that ball will be halfway in the air. He doesn't have to do that because he's got such a cannon. But I still think that there's just a little bit of space where I would like to see that a little bit more, especially on the throws outside the numbers. Because you can see he can do it. He did it on the post. I just think that that trust at the very back of the drop. Really, again, footwork-wise, to me, you can see just he kind of has to clear that front hip just a little bit. And I think that's maybe why he takes that extra hitch at the back, as opposed to being able to, what I would say, get it out on rhythm with 3, let it go. So that little, but again, if you look at his back foot, watch his back foot when he lets this thing go. All his cleats are in the ground right there. I mean, he is throwing the javelin right there. Thing is beautiful. Rip. Strike. We got 2:30 left in the game. 1st and 15. We're going to run, basically, it ends up being a little scramble to the right, basically throwing a dagger to the receiver up top who takes an outside release. It's like a unicorn. You never see this type of route thrown. But again, his ability to just arm strength this thing down the middle of the field late. I mean, this is not a throw I would encourage most people to make, but he makes it look easy. And it's right on him, and it's a beautiful strike, and he gives himself a chance and his team a chance to win the game right here with just making a play on your own, because there's not necessarily anything there at the start of this thing. Get it lined up, 2:30 left, 1st and 15, on the move. I mean, look at that, just the torque, the rotational torque, boom, right on the guy's face. Beautiful. Inside the 10-yard line. Let's go win the game in Foxborough. Here we go. So we're going to play it out here, the last 4 plays, take it all the way down. To me, this is a brutal call. This is like 2 minutes and 20 seconds left, so you can run it here. Offense coordinators love to run it in this situation. Quarterback lead sweep, pin and pull, whatever you want to call it. To me, the only reason that I don't love this call, I'm not going to lie. And it's easy, obviously, in hindsight, but to me, don't love the call. But I also don't love Josh Allen's run here. I think he's got a reputation for being a better athlete, better runner than what showed up here. And if you're going to run the rock like this down here inside the 10, inside the red area, there's an element of you got to run with a little bit more authority, a little bit more violence than this to me is standing straight up. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time running here talking about his running by any means, but not sure about the call, not sure about the execution. I know he's a great athlete, and so I can see why you would want to run it down there with such a big guy, but that might be a little bit far out for that type of play for me. So now we're into 2nd down and goal to win the game. 2x2, let's throw another corner. We're 1 for 3 at this point. Again, look at his footwork at the back. Just no heel click at all. All his cleats in the ground. Beautiful. Then just throws a flat ball and skims it off the back of the green. I mean, this thing is, he's got it. I love the fact that they kept throwing this versus what I would inside leverage on the corner route. Guys just don't believe that you're going to throw it against that. But man, he just lays that thing out there at all. This thing is a game winner. Instead, it comes out like a single up the middle, right over the shortstop's head. Boom, golly, so close. And that was really the best shot you're going to get. You'll see it from the back end here. Again, he does a nice job. I'm not sure, who necessarily he's looking off to the right, but he knows what he's doing the whole time. Though it looks like he almost thinks about going to the shallow right there, coming from left to right. Maybe that's why he's a little off to the corner. But man, you'd love to see just a touch more touch. Oh, give your guy a shot. So close. At least that one was at least closer of a miss. So now it's 3rd and 10 from the 10. And I can't tell you exactly what the read is here. I'm going to say that the 3 and the 2 up top are switching. You get a little now slant by the number 1 up top is the only shot you got. And even then it's still tight man coverage. The right tackle takes an L here. You get a sack. But, trying to get the same corner that you just got looks like what they're trying to do. And to me, I don't love that call. So a combination of, I can't put that on Allen per se, other than the fact that, you'd love to get the ball out and you can't take a sack there. That's one of those where I think a veteran quarterback knows he can't take a sack in the red area. If it's not there immediately, right here, you got to find a way to throw that out the back, put it in the front row. Because, that second, he gets past the first one, front row, as opposed to looking for somewhere to fall down, that type of thing. That would be the only thing I would say there. It's a big ask, but I think many guys could be able to handle that. And then this is 4th and 15, 4th and goal from the game. And the Patriots coming with 0 and just don't love the answer here. They're trying to get all 5 out. This is a hybrid 0. I'm not going to get into the whatever the hell they call it, but essentially if an offensive line picks you up, you drop out of it. You can see the guys on the right side, the center and the right guard. Those guys are dropping. They get picked up, get a free runner. Left tackle falls over himself. The only thing I would say here is I would love to see him throw hot. You're hot. They're one way or the other. I would love to see you throw hot. Now, 4th and 15 throwing hot is tough. This is just 4 verticals. If you throw it to the number 3 hot here, if he looks right there and you throw it, he's not looking hot. Right there, maybe you got a shot. Maybe if you're hot, you can just throw it down here to the bottom of the screen. I've seen that too, but it's tough. It's a tough call. I don't like getting all 5 guys out, and not having a viable hot 4th and 15 for the win. I do love the fact that he gave his team a shot even with a jump ball. So we can see it here. We'll watch the protection a handful of times. 5 guys blocking. They're bringing more. You can see the left tackle fall over himself here. That sure as hell doesn't help. But even if he doesn't, you know, to me, he's hot. He needs to be throwing the ball hot. The tight end isn't looking. Side adjust on the left isn't looking. You know, technically, I would say probably he has to throw that fade to the left if we're going strictly by rules of pass pro. But athletic enough to give his team a shot. You know, obviously not what you want. Combination, play call, play design, execution, hot, side adjust there. Look at the awkward high five hug there. That's awesome. All good. Nice win. All right, Josh Allen, pretty impressive performance in my opinion. You know, I don't watch a whole lot of Bills. I don't know that much about Josh Allen, but he made some really special throws. You can see the arm strength. I think you can see the potential. You see some really magical throws, both inside the pocket, moving, off-platform throws, really special. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.